Now at 10, a new face in the race for governor in Missouri. We'll have details. Plus, the Joplin community joins together a downstream casino in support of a good cause, and how a new rule proposed by the Department of Education could provide clarity for transgender student athletes.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft wants to move into the top job at the state capitol. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. He's running for governor, an office his father held for 8 years. Marina Silva reports from Jefferson City.
Jay Ashcroft is now one of several Republicans who have announced they are running for this top office in Missouri. But the current Secretary of State might not be doing things the same way his father did.
And I want to be the person to move Missouri forward, to make sure that everyone in Missouri has the opportunity to be the best they can be.
After serving since 2016 as the Missouri Secretary of State, Jay Ashcroft has decided it's time for a change of offices.
I've loved serving as Secretary of State. The people of the state have really blessed me with the opportunity to serve as Secretary of State, now for 6 years, electing me twice.
Ashcroft has made headlines recently for state library funding. He proposed a rule that would require public libraries to adopt rules about age-appropriate books. If libraries violate the rules, they could lose state funding, which comes from the Secretary of State's office.
If you read the rule is all about putting parents in charge of their children. If you think that you should be able to tell another person's child what to do and put things before them that parent would have a problem with, we're going to disagree, and we're going to disagree greatly.
Democrat and House Minority Leader Crystal Quaid said Ashcroft feels holding office is his birthright and added, quote, "Missourians deserve a governor who is dedicated to them, not an extremist who thinks he's entitled to the people's mansion because of his last name."
While no Democrats have announced they're running for the state's top office, 2 other Republicans have announced they plan to run. They are current Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe and State Senator Bill Eigel from St. Charles. Arkansas's Republican-led House has rejected and effectively killed legislation aimed at banning affirmative action by state and local governments. It comes after critics said it would have gone much further than its architects said it would and threatened a host of programs all around the state. The bill, rejected yesterday on a bipartisan 51-27 vote, would have prohibited state and local governments from granting preferential treatment on the basis of race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin. It also would have applied to public schools and institutions of higher education. Immediately after the vote, the House approved a procedural move that prevents the measure from being reconsidered. The Department of Education is proposing a new rule that will provide clarity for transgender student athletes and prohibit full bans on their participation in sports. It comes as many Republican-controlled states are passing bills restricting the rights of the trans community. Reporter Daniel Bacchus has details.
The Biden administration is proposing a new regulation preventing schools and colleges from outright banning transgender athletes from competition. The proposal adds to Title IX, a federal law that ensures students are not discriminated against based on sex. But the proposal does allow flexibility for schools to set their own policies, specifically if an athlete's participation undermines fairness on the field or could lead to injuries. The announcement comes the same day the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that West Virginia must allow a transgender girl to compete on her middle school track and field team while legal challenges continue in the state.
They want to, when these cases do start coming up to the court, if the court wants to say, you know what, basically, let's give this more time. Let's let states sort this out.
Earlier this week, Indiana and Idaho banned gender-affirming care for minors, and Kansas became the 20th state to impose restrictions on transgender student athletes after Republican lawmakers overrode a veto by the Democratic governor.
So I want to say directly to LGBTQI plus kids, you are loved just as you are.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says the Biden administration stands with the LGBTQ community.
They are fierce, they fight back, they're not going anywhere, and we have their back.
The ACLU is tracking more than 450 anti-LGBTQ bills across the U.S. Danya Bacchus, CBS News.
The proposed rule still needs to undergo a 30-day public comment period before it takes effect. A permit would not be required to carry a concealed handgun in Arkansas under a bill lawmakers sent today to Republican Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Governor Sanders' office said she plans to sign the measure approved by the majority Republican House on an 81-11 vote. The bill was approved with no debate, but opponents have questioned the impact the legislation would have on a 2017 law that allows concealed carry handguns in certain locations, including the state capitol. Tennessee Republicans today expelled 2 Democratic lawmakers from the state legislature. It was for their role in a protest calling for more gun control in the aftermath of a deadly school shooting in Nashville. A third Democrat was narrowly spared by a 1-vote margin. The split votes drew accusations of racism, with lawmakers ousting Representative Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, who are both black. Representative Gloria Johnson, who is white, survived the vote. Leadership denies race was a factor. Banishment is a move the chamber has used only a handful of times since the Civil War. An NEO student from southeast Kansas died today, 3 days after a truck pedestrian crash. That crash happened Monday night on the 900 block of B Street, northeast of Miami. Authorities say the truck drove south with 19-year-old Chase Langston of rural Parsons, Kansas, on the hood of the truck. They say the driver then accelerated and slammed on his brakes, throwing Langston from the hood. Langston was taken to a Joplin hospital in critical condition and died from his injuries just today. Authorities say the driver of the truck, Clay McCormick, left the scene. Authorities found the truck about a half-block north of the accident, parked at the truck owner's home. McCormick was arrested for DUI. Authorities say more charges are expected in the case. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy has a first look at the weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice Thursday for us today, but a chilly one. Look at this. Only 57 for a high. Started at 36 during the morning hours. Average high 67. We're going to get back into the 60s as we go through the next couple days, which is good. Still a cold night. We got frost advisories. We still got a little bit of a freeze warning out across northeastern parts of Oklahoma. But besides that, we're pretty calm. We just have some mid and upper level clouds that have been streaming through with a storm system off to our south, down through Texas, Louisiana. So as we go through the rest of the night, we do slide back into the 30s again, 35 for an overnight low. We rebound to 50 by 10 a.m. So again, frost and freeze advisories tonight. Friday looks pretty good, warming up for the weekend. We're going to look at your Easter forecast as well, all coming up here in just a little bit.
See you soon. Some residents of Newton and McDonald counties of Missouri are preparing to talk to state representatives about their concerns over fertilizer spread in the area. Members of Newton and McDonald County Cattlemen's Association and McDonald County Soil and Water Conservation want to reach out to the state representatives about the fertilizer that they say has run off and polluted a stream. Members say the fertilizer is brought to the area by Denali, a company based in Arkansas. Denali says their fertilizer is produced from the residuals of food processing. Some residents consider the substance a threat to safety of people and natural resources, and they say it stinks.
Our main objective right now is to get the word out to all of the landowners that they might be getting a lot more for free and no nitrogen or no fertilizer, but lots of other components.
The company says Denali employees worked to clean up the runoff as soon as they became aware of it, and says the company is working with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources to deal with the issue. Some community members plan to meet with lawmakers in Jefferson City at the end of this month, and they also have more town hall meetings. Still ahead, the cause that brought members of the Joplin community together at Downstream Casino. Plus, Missouri Southern's TV station is going green, and we're not talking about the environment. Members of the Joplin community gathered at Downstream Casino to support a local treatment center. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has details.
The Ooh La Lafayette event has been a community staple for 14 years. From silent auctions to virtual golf, the community shows up and out for the Lafayette House.
We have the used bags, we have new bags, and it's just fantastic the way the community comes together and donates.
All proceeds and donations from the gala support the Lafayette House, making sure to keep a safe sanctuary for those in need.
For 14 years, we've been impacting what we're able to do because of Ula Lafayette.
The Lafayette Gala is more than just a girls' party. This year they're introducing the alcove, which has more masculine interests because they want to emphasize that they help everyone in the community.
We don't only serve women, we serve men too. And so let's have two separate events, one with a more masculine feel and one with a more feminine.
500 people are expected to attend Ula Lafayette. Committee members are proud to watch the attendance increase over the years.
We outgrew the Ramsey building the first couple of years that we had it. We sell out every year. It's something that people look forward to.
Reporting at Downstream Casino, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The event also recognizes April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Green can be a color for the environment or money or in some cases special effects. KGCS TV at Missouri Southern today began remodeling their studio. The green screen will be in Studio B and it's going to be used in productions for the university's Newsmakers show along with student-created productions. Studio A will become home to a brand new LED production wall. The new features come after Missouri Southern received a $1.5 million Mo Excels grant. Master instructor Brian Mirren says the green screen is going to open the door for more creativity.
And so the backgrounds allow these students, and the virtual backgrounds allow these students to create unseen sets before, and so it allows them a lot more creativity. In the past, you're kind of stuck with what physical objects can you build a set out of. Now it opens them up to anything that they can imagine.
The remodel is expected to be finished with the installation of the LED wall at the end of May. Another cold night ahead of us, but when can we expect a warm up? Doug's going to be back with our green screen with his complete forecast next. And a little bit later, the Missouri Southern Lions open a 3-game series against the Central Missouri Mules in a battle of two of the best in the nation.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a pretty nice Thursday for us today. Temperatures not too bad, mainly into the upper 50s, but the allergies are high. Look at this, on a scale of 1 to 12, we're at 10.1 today, which is high, and then tomorrow is going to be a 10.4. So if you are an allergy sufferer, you're going to be suffering as we go through the next couple days. Look at our temps over the past 36 hours. We're in the mid-50s yesterday, cold start, and then right back up into the mid-50s. For highs for us today, but we are going to start to warm things back up in just a little bit as we go through the next couple days. Most of us are hanging out near 50 degrees. In fact, also our drought tracker came out, and after we got the rain just yesterday morning, Missouri, Arkansas are doing pretty good, even northeastern Oklahoma, but still, once you get in southeastern Kansas, we have pretty bad drought conditions, and we want to see this improve, especially before we get into the summer months. For us tonight, sliding back through the 40s, mid-30s, 4 overnight lows, so a cold night. We rebound right back to 50 by 10 a.m. We have been watching a few clouds kind of skirting through, mainly in our southeastern counties. Besides that, we look pretty good. That's due to a storm system down through Texas and Louisiana. The rain's going to stay to our south, but we are going to get some at least call it partly cloudy skies for us tonight and then again tomorrow. But here's our next storm system. This system will start to affect us by the second half of the weekend and then heading into early next week. All right, let's step through the next 48 hours. Chilly start, 36 in Stockton, 39 at Grand Lake, Chinook down to about 35. We have an easterly wind tomorrow. We rebound upper 50s by noon, and I think most of us will go into lower 60s for highs, so a pretty good Friday for us. Tomorrow night, still chilly. We drop back down into 30s once again. Not quite as cold, 35, 36 degrees by the time we start the day on Saturday. And then Saturday afternoon looks fantastic. 66 in Carthage, Miami up 68, 66 in Pittsburgh, Independence, much of the same mid to upper 60s. So we're heading into the weekend, we look fantastic. Saturday night, we start to get a southerly wind. We start to get some clouds in here ahead of that next storm system, which will start to affect us on Easter Sunday. Here's your day planner tomorrow, 9 a.m. 45, 1 p.m. up to 60, 63 by 5 p.m. So Friday is going to be a fantastic day to get outside. All right, let's look at Easter. So we're going to go into Sunday morning. If you have heading to church or church service, Easter morning service, temperatures into the mid-40s. So chilly, but not too bad. A lot of clouds throughout the day. By noon, we're into the upper 50s. And once we get into the afternoon, I think most of us right around 70. You can start to see a few showers sneaking in as we get into Sunday evening, but I think our better chances for rain is going to hold off until Monday. 63 tomorrow, 66 Saturday, 70 for Easter Sunday. Those showers Sunday and Monday. 72 Tuesday, warming through the 70s. Next week, next chance for thunderstorms, which could be strong to severe late next week into next weekend.
Doug, thanks. Two teenagers, a retiree who friends say would give you the shirt off his back, a woman with a fondness for her dog and pigs, a young man who was, quote, the life of the party. Those were the lives lost in the early morning darkness yesterday when a tornado tore through a remote village in a hilly area of southeastern Missouri. Missouri State Highway Patrol said today that all 5 victims were either in the same mobile home or divided between the home and a small camper parked next to it. Still ahead, the Neosho Wildcats hit the field for their baseball conference opener against Webb City, and Missouri Southern hosts Central Missouri in a battle for first place in the MIAA. Jacob Leonard has that and more coming up.
The Missouri Southern Lions have their biggest series of the season this week. The Lions host a 3-game set against the Central Missouri Mules tonight in a battle of 2 of the best teams in the nation. And these 2 teams are both ranked in the top 20 in the country, and they enter tonight tied for first place in the MIAA. Southern ranked number 4 in the country, Central Missouri number 18. The Mules get off to a fast start. Chase Heath drives one here to left center. Runner scores RBI double for Heath. Central Missouri goes up 7-0. But Missouri Southern not out of it. Bottom of the 3rd, Ethan Clark pulls one through the left side. That scores Nate Miskowski. The Lions get a pair of runs in the inning to make it 7-2. Then in the 5th, 2 on for Will Doherty. Yanks this one to left. He really hammered it well over the wall for the 3-run homer. It's his 5th of the season, and it gets Southern within 2, but the Lions are not able to complete the comeback tonight. Central Missouri takes game 1, 8-5. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas also in action tonight, kicking off a 3-game road series against Rogers State. Now the scores are obviously invisible here, but Rogers State would win it in 10 innings, 10-9. Carson Coffey, though, nice night for Pittsburgh State. He goes 3 for 5 on the evening with a home run and 3 RBIs. Well, the Neosho Wildcats are on a roll early in the season. Through 9 games, Neosho is 8-1 overall, and they've won 7 games in a row. And tonight, the Wildcats play at home, hosting the Webb City Cardinals in their COC League opener. Now, Webb City enters this game at 6-5 overall. That was a pitcher's duel this afternoon. Top of the 4th, tied at 1. River Brill, sweet play with the glove there. He gets the out at first. Bottom of the 5th now, same score with the runner on. Webb City gets a double play. And that gets the Cardinals out of the inning. So now we go to the 6th. Things get interesting here. Drew Vonderhaar gets it just over the glove at the second baseman. Kaylor Darnell comes in to score to give Webb City the lead. Cards go up 2-1. Now to the top of the 7th. Still 2-1 Webb City. Sean Hunt hits a line shot into left. RBI single. Big insurance run there makes it 3-1 Cardinals. But the big story of the game, Webb City pitcher Landon Fletcher. Check it out. Swing and the miss here in the 1st. Another whiff in the 3rd. Then he ends the game on a strikeout. Fletcher, complete game, strikes out 10, only gave up 1 run. That was good enough to get Webb City their first conference win of the season. Cardinals beat Neosho 4-1.
I knew that my last game wasn't my best, and then I had to kind of figure it out and got to win the first conference game, so got that done.
He's a sophomore. This is his first start in a COC game. I mean, you can't ask for much more. He had 8+ strikeouts. I think he only had 2 walks. He had a few hits, but I mean, that's just who he is. He's in the zone all the time. He spins his breaking ball about any count. I mean, that's just kind of what he does. I mean, that's just what we asked him to do.
Today's the opening day of the Adam LaRoche baseball tournament in Fort Scott. There are 3 games on the schedule today, with the tournament host Tigers hitting the field first against Tonganoxie. Fort Scott enters the day on a 3-game winning streak after beating SEK rival Pittsburgh Tuesday. The Tigers down 2 in the 1st. But Rocco Lafredo with 2 on places this one perfectly into right. Cody Wilson comes in to score. Fort Scott gets one of those runs back. Second inning, still down 1. Spencer Goldston, opposite field base hit. Cal Cousins scores on that, and we got a new ball game. It's tied at 2. Moments later, Lennox Van with 2 on slices this one into left. Check it out, gets down and actually gets by the left fielder. That's Goldston rounding third and scoring for the Tigers. Right behind him, Cody Wilson. Van's into second out there. Fort Scott goes up 4-2 after 2 innings. Spencer Goldston on in relief for Fort Scott in the final few innings. Gets the strikeout on the check swing in the 7th. Tigers hold on in a good one today, beating Tonganoxie 6-4. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news right after this.
Doug Hetty has a final check of the forecast.
Well, it's going to be another cold night for us tonight as we drop back to about 35 degrees. So that's why we have the frost and freeze advisories. Friday's great, 63, 66 Saturday, Easter Sunday. Really no complaints. A few showers in here by Sunday evening into Monday. But look at the temps. Over the next 10 days, 60s and 70s across the board.
Final sports note.
Tough night for Missouri Southern baseball. Central got off to a pretty hot start tonight, but the good news is there's still 2 more games in the series. Southern will have a chance to even up the series tomorrow, Game 2, 6 p.m. at Warren Turner Field in Joplin.
And the weather will be pretty nice tomorrow evening.
I'm not going to lie, it got a little chilly out there once the sun went down this evening.
It was cool. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.